Urgent warning. In the next 2 hours, your father's past is about to resurface, and Archangel Michael says, you're in immediate danger. Watch this now. In this very hour, a celestial alarm hath been sounded. A countdown ordained by heaven has begun, and the next 2 hours will unveil a divine threshold that not everyone is meant to cross. This is not a message of fear, but of precision. It is a summons from the throne room of heaven, dispatched by Archangel Michael himself, carrying the weight of eternal timing. This message is not mass-produced for the many. Lo, it is designed and delivered to the chosen, to you. For in the spiritual corridors of your bloodline, something is stirring. A shadow from your father's past is crawling to the surface, not by coincidence, but by command. And what hath been hidden, what has been buried, is about to be revealed. There is a breach, a fracture, a spiritual crack that was opened long before your arrival, and now, under divine timing, it demands attention. Archangel Michael says this is not just another warning. This is your confirmation. You sensed the shift. You felt the tremor in your spirit. You've woken up with unrest, cried tears you could not explain, and questioned feelings that had no root in your current life. That is because the root is not in you, it is in him. In your father. It is history. In what was left unresolved. In these next 2 hours, heaven's eyes are upon you. This moment requires stillness. It demands obedience. For when the winds of the past begin to blow through the windows of the present, chaos can only be silenced by a soul that is anchored in truth and covered by divine instruction. You are not to fear. You are not to fight in the flesh. You are to watch, pray, and obey. This spiritual breach is not your fault, but it is now your battle. Because you are the one chosen to face what others fled from. You are the one anointed to stand where others collapsed. You are the one called to close what was never resolved. And Michael says, heaven has released you into the mystery for such a time as this. Not everyone will understand what is happening. Not everyone will feel the urgency. But you have been awakened. You have been spiritually alerted. And now you are being instructed. If you are hearing this now, it is because the spiritual dimension surrounding your life has reached a boiling point. A prophetic moment. A divine intersection. And you must not move in haste, nor speak out of fear. You must remain in a posture of reverence. Heaven is watching your next move. There are 2 hours left in this cycle. 2 hours before the veil thins and truth begins to pierce through illusion. 2 hours before the past attempts to bind the present with its chains of shame. But Michael is not silent. Heaven is not still. You are not alone. And the danger that seeks to arise must now confront the shield of glory that surrounds your obedience. So still your thoughts. Silence your surroundings. Prepare your heart to receive what only the Spirit can interpret. This warning has come at the appointed time. This warning has found you. And the one who sent it, Archangel Michael, has stationed divine protection around your house, your mind, and your lineage. The breach will not break you. The storm will not drown you. The past will not possess you. Because the power of heaven has risen in your defense. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. Hear now, O chosen soul, for the heavens are speaking and the realm of angels has moved into alignment. Archangel Michael, commander of the armies of light, steps forward now with a voice not of suggestion, but of mandate. You are not imagining things. You are not losing your grip. The air you feel pressing on your skin, the weight in your chest, the restlessness in your spirit. It is all real, and it is all timed. For in the next 2 hours, a supernatural alignment is unlocking a mystery tied to your lineage. A spiritual thread is in motion, and this thread is rooted in a time long before your own. Michael declares you are under immediate spiritual surveillance. The enemy has detected your awakening. The realm of darkness is disturbed by your rise. And that is why these last few days, even hours, have felt heavier than normal. You've seen strange signs, heard unexplained whispers in your dreams, and felt unseen eyes upon you. You've sensed a tightening, not around your body, but your soul. That is because heaven's clock is moving, and you are at the center of its focus. You are not paranoid. You are being positioned. The weight you feel is the echo of eternity pressing through time. The urgency is not emotional. It is prophetic. You were not supposed to hear this message by accident. You were led here because your spirit was chosen to intercept this transmission from heaven. The message is clear. In the next 2 hours, what was hidden must be revealed, and what was tolerated must be confronted. This is not for everyone. Many will scroll past. Many will hear but not understand. But you are not the many. You are the few. You are the remnant. You are the one heaven has trusted to carry this burden and birth breakthrough. The Holy Spirit has been pulling on your spirit like a thread in the night, and now the divine garment of truth is being unraveled before your eyes. Archangel Michael commands stillness. Yes, silence your reactions. Silence your mind. Let your soul settle into the divine authority of this moment. Why? Because when heaven speaks, the wise do not move, they listen. And now, heaven is speaking directly to you. The threat is spiritual. The assignment is divine. And your instruction is to be still, to be silent, and to be aware. You may want to cry out, lash out, call someone, warn someone. But Michael says, hold your words, for heaven is watching how you carry this moment. There is no need to defend what God is about to reveal. There is no reason to fight with human energy what is being settled in the spirit. You are not called to panic. You are called to posture. You are not called to argue. You are called to lie. This is not about gossip. This is not about family drama. This is about destiny. Something from your father's past has reached its expiration, and the Spirit is saying, this is the hour of divine confrontation. A breach that was opened in generations before you is now calling for justice, and justice does not come through noise. It comes through order, through faith, and through divine intervention. Do not fear. For while the shadows stir, the angels stand guard. Michael and his legion surround you even now. They have gone before you, encamped around your home, covering your sleep, standing between you and every spiritual trap designed to keep you bound in confusion and chaos. You are not alone. You have not been abandoned. You are being armed. This countdown is not about destruction. It is about disruption. Heaven is disrupting what has tried to linger in the dark. Heaven is exposing what has held your name hostage. And in this stillness, in this divine pause, you will begin to see clearly. So hear this. Do not dismiss this moment. Do not silence what heaven is trying to awaken. You have 2 hours. 2 hours to shift your atmosphere. 2 hours to still your soul. 2 hours to posture your heart. Because when the hour strikes, something from your father's history, hidden, secret, and spiritually dangerous, will attempt to re-enter your life. But it will not succeed, because you will be ready. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks. with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. And now we address what your heart has whispered but your mouth could not speak. For the mystery has already begun to unfold around you. Have you not noticed? The strange phone calls at odd hours. The photos you stumbled upon, ones that you don't remember saving. The dreams that revisit old places, old wounds, old faces, things you thought had no meaning anymore. This is not coincidence. This is divine disruption. Your spirit, your anointed, sensitive, awakened spirit, has sensed it before your mind could comprehend it. You have walked through the last few days like someone being watched, and that is because you are. The unseen realm is stirring, and the familiar spirits of the past are now trying to find an entry point through memory, through fear, through confusion. Do not be deceived. What you are feeling is not just emotion. It is spiritual turbulence. It is the atmosphere around you groaning as truth begins to stretch its arms and reach into your life again. There is a whispering going on in hidden places. Gossip, rumors, spiritual whispers about your family. But this gossip is not of man alone. It is the enemy attempting to stir the ashes of what God already buried. Do not engage. Do not entertain it. But know this: when gossip increases, exposure is near. The reason you've been emotionally unsettled lately is not just stress. It is not just life. It is because heaven is opening a file on your family line. There is a spiritual record, and God is preparing to rewrite the legacy. But before the new record can be sealed, the old one must be exposed. Your father's past, hidden, protected, whispered about, is now calling for a reckoning. And you feel the quake in your bones because your DNA remembers what your mind was never told. Michael says, eyes are watching you, but not all are kind. Be discerning. Not every check-in is sincere. Not every smile is pure. Some are watching because they sense your shift and they fear your exposure of their comfort. You are a light, and light makes hidden things uncomfortable. That's why people you haven't spoken to in years are suddenly appearing. Why conversations about your family keep resurfacing. Why memories you buried have returned without invitation. You are being prepared for the confrontation of truth. And this preparation comes with emotional disruption. Let it come. Let it shake. Let it reveal. For you are not being broken. You are being awakened. Your tears are not weakness. They are prophetic. They are cleansing. They are evidence that your spirit is aligned with heaven's movements. Understand this. What is surfacing is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to free you. But you must walk through the revelation with caution and clarity. Not every emotion should be voiced. Not every feeling should be acted on. You are in a spiritual court session, and silence is your ally. You've wondered why you feel unbalanced, why joy seems fleeting, why your heart aches without reason. It's because your soul is remembering what your lineage buried. But Archangel Michael is here to remind you, you are the breaker. You are not here to carry your father's pain. You are here to confront it and end it. Stay grounded. Stay hidden. Stay prayed up. Because the wind of truth is about to blow through your life like never before. And when it does, the chains of deception and secrecy will shatter. Type "I am the breaker" in the comments if you feel this truth in your bones. Blessing code 4433 is now activated. Let every ear that is spiritually open now hear. This battle you face is not what it appears to be. The unrest, the chaos, the unexplainable heaviness, it is not just emotional disturbance. It is not just psychological residue. It is a spiritual war, rooted in generational bloodlines, wrapped in hidden histories, and now breaking into the light. Archangel Michael speaks again with thunder in his voice. Your father's unspoken past holds spiritual residue, and it has not yet been cleansed. This is not simply family history. This is a breach in the spiritual firewall of your bloodline. The patterns, the struggles, the misfortunes that have followed your name like shadows are not random. They are residues of choices, of sins, of secrets, and they did not start with you. The Holy Spirit now reveals that some of the pain you carry does not even belong to you. It was inherited, transferred, absorbed, passed through generations like a silent curse wrapped in denial and silence. You've wrestled with shame you couldn't explain. You've battled demons in your dreams with names you've never spoken. You felt like an outcast in your own lineage, and it is because you were not called to continue. You were called to confront. You are not the continuation of brokenness, you are the interruption. You are not the echo of dysfunction. You are the voice of divine transformation. Michael declares you are the breaker. Yes, you. The one who wonders why life feels so heavy. The one who feels pulled in two directions. The one who questions why you had to be born into this family. Heaven answers now, because you are the one strong enough to stand where others fell. You are the one chosen to look into the face of ancestral affliction and say, "It ends with me." This is why you've been targeted. This is why your peace hath been under siege. This is why your joy has been unstable. Because the enemy knew before you did that you carry the oil of reversal, that your obedience, your silence, your surrender would tear down what generations before you refused to confront. God's eyes are upon your reaction right now. Yes, now. In this very moment. The Spirit is watching how you respond to what is resurfacing. Will you run back into fear? Will you shrink under shame? Or will you rise, take up your spiritual armor, and move as the warrior heaven has declared you to be? You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every storm that tried to sink you was actually shaping your stance. Every betrayal, every lie, every abandonment was forging your sword in the Spirit. You are not broken. You are being built. What others call generational drama, heaven calls generational warfare. And what the enemy thought would destroy you is now the very thing that is going to prove you. Michael says, do not be distracted by emotion. Anchor yourself in revelation. Because this is not a time for reaction. This is a time for spiritual response. This is not a fight of flesh and blood. This is a divine assignment. The pain has been real. The trauma hath been inherited. But the power is now present. And you are the spiritual key that unlocks the door to healing, restoration, and reversal. Heaven has waited for this moment. The angels have watched over your path. And now the cloud of witnesses is leaning in, watching as you choose to rise in your divine authority. So stand still. Speak wisely. Pray earnestly. Fast if led. For the Holy Spirit is not done revealing. There is more. And you, the chosen vessel, are the one God trusts to carry the light through the shadows of your lineage. Type "I am the breaker" in the comments if you receive this truth. Blessing code 8888 is now covering you. Listen now, for time is collapsing and the heavens are vibrating with divine urgency. Archangel Michael steps forward again with a fierce roar and a holy proclamation. Within 72 hours, a gate will open, and what was hidden will rise to the surface. Be not deceived. Be not shaken, but be prepared. Someone from your father's past is stirring again. Their soul is restless. Their spirit is triggered. Whether alive or departed, their name is echoing in the atmosphere, not by chance, but by divine decree. There is unfinished business in your lineage. There is a conversation that was never had, a sin that was never repented for, a truth that was never spoken. And now, it seeks a voice. It seeks resolution. There is a confrontation forming. It may not come with fists. It may not come with shouting. But it will come in spirit and in truth. And you must be ready. Heaven says not to panic, but to prepare. There is nothing to fear when you are aligned with divine instruction. But there is everything to lose if you ignore the warning. Michael reveals, this confrontation will not only be spiritual, it may also manifest physically. It may come as a sudden call, an unexpected visitor, a legal situation, a past document resurfacing, a family member revealing something that was supposed to stay buried. Do not be shocked. Heaven is orchestrating the exposure, and what is revealed will make sense of every emotional battle you fought without understanding. Do not retaliate. Do not respond hastily. Heaven says, let me fight this one, because the enemy wants you triggered. The enemy wants you bound in emotion, but God wants you rooted in purpose. Emotional or legal consequences may arise, yes, but if you stay in position, silent, still, spiritual, they will not destroy you. They will reveal you. The time for pretending is over. The time for hiding is over. The time for superficial peace is over. What was concealed in darkness must be dealt with in light. And though the process may sting, it will sanctify. Though the revelation may shake, it will establish. Though the exposure may hurt, it will heal. This is a divine setup for deliverance, and you are the vessel being used to usher it in. Heaven does not need your performance. It needs your posture. Knees bent, mouth closed, spirit open. That is how you win this war. That is how you silence the accuser. That is how you protect your peace while the storm rages. Something buried is about to be exposed, and with it, a flood of emotions. But you will not drown. You will not crumble. You will not falter. You will remember this moment. You will remember these words, and you will rise in the strength of Michael's army. Your silence is not weakness. It is strategy. Your stillness is not passivity. It is power. Let the angels war while you worship. Let the Spirit speak while you stay seated. Let heaven handle what the past is trying to drag into the present. If this warning resonates with you, and you believe in the power of prophetic guidance, consider showing your support through Super Chat, Super Stickers, or a Super Thanks of $10. Your generosity helps us continue this sacred work and bring more revelations to those who need them most. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am ready in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 3030 is being assigned to you now. Archangel Michael now raises his sword, not in vengeance, but in protection. He speaks with celestial force and divine tenderness, saying, "Withdraw and be still, for the battle is not yours. The Lord has surrounded you. You are not unprotected. You are not exposed. The weight you feel is not abandonment. It is the atmosphere of spiritual warfare, and you are under divine guard. This is the moment where many fail. This is where many speak out of fear, react out of pain, and sabotage the protection they were promised. But not you. You have been chosen to obey. You have been called to stand still. This is your instruction. Silence is your spiritual weapon. Stillness is your shield. Let no impulse deceive you. Let no emotion trick you into forfeiting what heaven has already secured. You may feel a fire rising in your bones, and need to defend yourself, to uncover secrets with your own hands, to confront those connected to your father's past. But Michael says, resist that urge. That is the flesh. That is the trap. Your words will not heal what only the Spirit can expose and sanctify. The divine plan now requires your restraint. It demands your discipline. You are not inactive. You are strategically hidden. You are not invisible. You are supernaturally covered. And even though it feels like nothing is happening, heaven's army is moving on your behalf. The walls are shaking in the spiritual realm. Strongholds are breaking. Generational darkness is being forced to retreat, all because you obeyed the call to silence. Let this word go deep into your soul. Do not speak what you're feeling. Observe. That is the posture of a spiritual warrior. The wise observe. The anointed discern. The chosen understand that silence is not powerlessness. It is prophetic alignment. Speak only when heaven tells you. Move only when the Spirit leads. For this moment is holy. The storm is sacred. And the wrong sound at the wrong time can rupture what God is healing. Heaven surrounds you now. There is an angel stationed at every door of your heart. There is a shield over your mind. There is a flame encircling your purpose. You are not walking into this confrontation alone. Michael himself has gone before you. His wings are stretched over you. His sword is drawn against every spiritual agent that seeks to infiltrate your destiny. So what do you do now? You pray. You fast. You stay hidden. This is not the time for declarations in public. This is the time for intercession in private. You were not designed for noise. You were destined for revelation. The louder the enemy gets, the quieter you must become. Because in silence, the Spirit speaks with clarity. Heaven is watching. Your angels are waiting for your response. Your silence is more powerful than your sword. Your restraint is more deadly than your retaliation. Let the Spirit war while you wait. Let the angels expose while you worship. Let the divine unfold while you remain in peace. You are divinely protected. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, not gossip, not deception, not spiritual manipulation, not ancestral torment. They may form, but they will not prosper. Why? Because your silence has authorized angelic warfare. Your stillness has activated spiritual backup. You are being taught the art of holy war. This is not about noise. This is about presence. Your presence in the secret place. Your presence in the Spirit. Your alignment with God's timing. That is your advantage. That is your defense. That is your victory. Type "I am shielded" in the comments if you are submitting to this divine instruction. Blessing code 7777 is now released over your life. Now hear this, for this moment is no longer about warning, it is about awakening. Archangel Michael speaks with roaring clarity and says, "You are not that scared child tied to his legacy. You are not the echo of your father's silence. You are the trumpet of generational freedom. This is not a moment of fear. This is a shift into empowerment. Yes, you were born into a lineage that carried pain. Yes, you were handed burdens that weren't yours. Yes, you had to navigate the maze of confusion, secrecy, and shame. But that ends now, because you are not that frightened, questioning, trembling soul anymore. You have grown wings, spiritually, emotionally, prophetically. The pressure you've been feeling is not weakness, it's transformation. You've been in a cocoon. You've been in isolation. You've been wondering why no one understands you, why no one sees your pain. And the Spirit answers now, because your growth required hiddenness. Your calling required silence. Your transformation required darkness. Just like the butterfly, you had to be unseen before you could be unleashed. Your enemies, your critics, even some family members have mistaken your silence for fear. They believed your quiet meant surrender. They assumed your stillness was submission. But what they failed to recognize is that stillness is power under control. Silence is sacred, and your silence has been screaming louder in the spirit than any spoken word. You are not weak. You are wise. You are not broken. You are becoming. And now, Michael declares, the strength built in the shadows is about to be revealed in the light. There is power pulsing through you right now. The anointing on your life is not just for survival. It is for rebuilding. You are the rebuilder, the curse breaker, the cycle ender. Heaven calls you rebuilder of generational strength. That is who you are. That is why you couldn't give up. That is why you've been through so much. Because your hands are not only anointed to fight, they are anointed to build. You are not here to repeat pain. You are here to reverse it. You are not here to mourn the legacy. You are here to write it. And that is why you feel fire in your bones right now. That is why your spirit is trembling with energy and emotion. Because the truth has found you. Because the chains have cracked. Because the darkness has lost its grip. Stand up in your spirit. Say this aloud. I am not my father's pain. I am my family's healing. Feel the authority in those words. Feel the shift in your soul. Heaven agrees with you. The angels nod in unity. The Holy Spirit wraps you in truth. Your wings have matured. You are no longer crawling through confusion. You are ascending. And this shift is irreversible. Once you awaken, you cannot return to blindness. Once you embrace your role, no curse can claim your destiny. You have become what the enemy feared the most, a healed, awakened, obedient child of the Most High. Let this be your declaration. I choose strength. I choose legacy. I choose divine alignment. If this message resonates with your spirit, and you want to help us continue spreading these divine insights, consider contributing a super thanks of $50. Every seed you sow helps us keep speaking light into darkness for others like you. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am the rebuilder in the comments if this is your truth. Blessing code 1919 is now flowing into your bloodline. Listen closely now, for what Archangel Michael is about to speak is not a warning. It is a revelation, a divine decoding of your past, your pain, and your prophetic position. The heavens are no longer whispering. They are roaring. And the roar is this. This resurfacing is not your punishment. It is your promotion. What was hidden is now being uncovered, not to destroy you, but to elevate you. What has long been buried under secrecy, shame, and silence has now reached a boiling point. And God, in His perfect wisdom, is saying, It is time. It is time for truth. It is time for exposure. It is time for the light to invade what the enemy thought he had ownership of. This isn't the past haunting you. This is heaven confronting the past on your behalf. You've been wondering why the pain has intensified, why old feelings are being resurrected, why dreams of your father or family keep stirring you awake. Michael declares, this pain is not a curse, it is confirmation. You've stepped into a prophetic season, and those whom heaven calls to higher places must first be purified through truth. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it stings. But understand this, pain is not always punishment. Pain, in prophetic people, is often proof. It is proof that you are standing on the edge of revelation. It is proof that what was closed is now being unlocked. It is proof that God is revealing, not concealing. You were not created to carry secrets. You were not called to live beneath veils. You were anointed to live in clarity, in power, in freedom. But before full authority is released, heaven must remove every trace of ancestral pollution from your path. And what better way than to expose what was ignored? This is the fire of refinement, not wrath. This is the holy uncovering, not judgment. This is your prophetic preparation. Some will not understand what's happening. They will say, why now? Why this? But heaven's answer is simple, because the time is right. Heaven's clock does not tick by emotion or fear. It moves in seasons and assignments. And your assignment demands clarity. Your elevation requires clean foundations. What good is a throne if it is built on lies? What good is power if it is compromised by secrecy? Michael reminds you, what is surfacing now will not destroy you. It will distinguish you. It will prove your faith. It will authenticate your calling. It will amplify your voice. You are not just passing through pain. You are ascending through revelation. Every tear you cried is a document in the Spirit. Every sleepless night is a page in heaven's journal about your obedience. And now, God says, I am turning the page. This revelation is not just about you. It is about the generations after you. Your sons, your daughters, your legacy. They will walk in a freedom you fought for. They will stand on the clarity you bled for. And you will be remembered in heaven's book as the one who said yes to the truth when others bowed to fear. So lift your head. Wipe your tears. Straighten your crown. Because the very pain that once confused you is now your proof. Your elevation is not coming. It has already begun. You are not being exposed. You are being elevated through revelation. And the Father's eyes are watching you with pride, with joy, with divine confidence. Type I receive the revelation in the comments if this resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 4545 is now confirming your rise. Now comes the turning point, the divine ignition. This is where truth becomes destiny, where revelation becomes activation. Archangel Michael speaks with fierce joy in his voice now, saying, heaven is waiting for your yes. Yes to alignment. Yes to the calling. Yes to the truth. Yes to rising. You are not here by mistake. You were sent. You were chosen. And now, you must speak. Declare this now with boldness. I am the bloodline's shift. Let those words ring through every room in your house. Let them echo in your heart. You are not repeating history. You are rewriting it. You are not stuck in patterns. You are breaking them. You are not the end of something broken. You are the beginning of something blessed. Destiny does not knock gently. It shakes walls. It roused emotions. It overturns comfort. But it always brings freedom. And what you are walking into now is not just a new chapter, it is a new book entirely. Heaven has removed the ink of shame and regret, and now God is writing your legacy in gold. You've cried. You've wrestled. You waited. Now it's time to rise. This is your activation hour. No more delays. No more excuses. No more spiritual paralysis. Michael says, even fear is submitting to your spirit now. What once stopped you will now bow to you. What once intimidated you will now flee from you. The winds of the past are behind you. The force of heaven is pushing you forward. Rise and move. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait for confirmation. Don't wait for validation. Your yes is already marked in heaven. Your identity is not up for debate. It is sealed in divine ink. You are the fire that will cleanse the altar. You are the voice that will change the room. You are the shift that will redeem the name. But hear this, destiny requires agreement. Heaven will not force what you are not ready to walk in. You must say yes. You must surrender. You must rise. Even if afraid. Even if uncertain. Even if shaking. Rise anyway. Obey anyway. Move anyway. For in your weakness, His strength is perfected. In your obedience, your power is multiplied. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are exactly who God needs in this hour. The enemy knows your potential. That's why he's tried so hard to shut you down. But now he's too late. Because your spirit has heard the sound. And once the spirit hears, it can never unhear. This generation is waiting for your voice. This family is waiting for your breakthrough. This lineage is depending on your obedience. And heaven is cheering for you. You are no longer a product of trauma. You are a portal of transformation. So speak life over yourself. Lay hands on your chest and say, I am chosen. I am called. I am ready. Say it until your soul aligns. Say it until your past bows. Say it until the present shifts. Because you are not just stepping forward, you are stepping into divine position. If this activation stirred something inside of you, and you feel led to support this sacred channel, consider giving a super thanks with a gift of $20. Your generosity fuels this divine movement and helps us reach others who are waiting on their prophetic word. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am activated in the comments if you accept this call. Blessing code 6060 is now flowing into your next season. Close your eyes and open your spirit. For what Archangel Michael reveals now is not for the carnal ear. It is for the awakened soul. There is a silent exchange happening in the spirit realm, and it's occurring even as you sleep, even as you sit in stillness. You may feel unrest. You may feel tightness in your chest. You may feel sudden waves of emotion. That's not anxiety. That's not confusion. That is spiritual activity, and it is divine. While your body rests, heaven is not silent. While you lay your head down, the courts of heaven are in full session. Angels have gathered around the records of your bloodline. The scrolls have been opened, and the Spirit is addressing every unresolved affliction that your father's past has tried to pass into your present. This is a courtroom transaction. This is not just spiritual warfare. This is divine litigation. Michael stands on your behalf as your advocate and warrior. And with every tear you've cried in private, every sigh that left your lips in the middle of the night, he has gathered them like legal documents. Your tears, says the Lord, are documents, and I have signed. Do not underestimate the power of your pain. It has become your spiritual petition. It has become your legal appeal. And heaven has heard it. There is an exchange taking place. Old trauma for divine treasure. What the enemy tried to use as a curse, heaven is now turning into currency. What was intended to break you has now become the proof that qualifies you. What was designed to silence you is now the very evidence being used to validate your destiny. There is a transfer occurring. You may not feel it. You may not see it. But your spirit knows. That's why you've been feeling like something is off. That's why your dreams have been more vivid. That's why peace has felt like a battle. Because your spirit is standing in the courtroom of destiny. This exchange is sacred. It is secret. And it is sealed in silence. That is why heaven has ordered you to speak little. That is why Michael commanded stillness. Because this is not a war of words. This is a transaction of tears, intercession, and obedience. In the silence, angels are working. While others sleep through life, you are being altered by glory. You are being rewritten by divine design. Your name is being marked differently in the spirit. The way heaven identifies you has shifted. You're not just someone surviving a storm. You're the key that unlocks freedom for your bloodline. The enemy cannot understand this transaction. He cannot decode the silence. He is confused. He expected you to lash out. He expected you to fight dirty. But you did something more dangerous. You obeyed. You bowed in stillness. You lifted up your pain like incense. You allowed God to handle what your hands could not. There are spiritual documents being finalized even now. And when the dawn rises, you will feel a lightness. You will feel a lifting. Because what was negotiated in silence has resulted in your deliverance by decree. Michael wants you to know, nothing you suffered is being wasted. Every abandonment, every betrayal, every unanswered question is being flipped into spiritual leverage. This exchange is holy. The silence is sacred. And your victory is being signed in heaven's ink. Type "I agree with heaven" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 8181 is now stamping your name in the heavenly courtroom. Now comes the verdict, the sentence passed from the heavenly court. Spiritual justice hath been served, and what was done in darkness will now be reversed in light. Archangel Michael raises his flaming sword and declares, what your enemies tried to bury will now backfire. What they whispered in shadows will now be shouted in your favor. What was used to shame you will now be used to glorify you. You are not cursed. You are commissioned. And now the reversal begins. The whispers about your family, the strange occurrences, the spiritual heaviness, the legal concerns, the sudden resurfacing of people from your father's past, all of it was leading to this divine intersection. God has allowed the exposure, not to embarrass you, but to establish you. He's allowed the pain, not to break you, but to build the platform from which He will raise your name. Your name, yes, your name has been entered into heaven's vindication ledger. And the pages are being turned swiftly. The very same mouths that doubted you are about to witness your elevation. The very people who tried to slander you are about to see the supernatural spotlight rest upon you. Because when heaven decides to honor a soul, no demon, no lie, no generational curse can interrupt it. Justice is not delayed. It is divinely timed. You thought God forgot. You thought the warfare would never end. But you didn't realize that while the battle raged, heaven was calculating every loss and preparing to pay it back sevenfold. You were never alone in the storm. You were guarded, counted, and scheduled for divine reversal. Michael says, you were never the failure. You were the fulfillment of a prophecy generations D. The plans of darkness that were meant to silence you have now collapsed. The enemy's blueprint has been torn in half. Because you chose silence, because you obeyed, because you stayed hidden. Now comes the public redemption. This is not just a personal blessing. This is a generational reversal. Your children will feel it. Your household will shift. Your future relationships will thrive. Because the foundation of your life has been corrected by divine justice. What was once twisted hath been untangled. What was covered in shame is now blowing with favor. Every plot has boomeranged. Every trap is exposed. Every scheme is dissolving. You do not need to lift a finger. Heaven is fighting for you. Even your mistakes are being reversed. Even the consequences of your silence, the times you didn't speak up out of fear, all of that is being overwritten. Mercy has kissed your timeline. Grace is rewriting your script. The shame that lived in your bloodline has lost its power. And justice is not coming. It is here. Stand tall in your spirit. The reversal has begun. The restoration is underway. And the favor that follows you now cannot be stopped. You have moved from trial to triumph. You have crossed from confusion to clarity. And the divine reversal you are stepping into is a testimony, not of how perfect you are, but of how obedient you became. If this divine justice and reversal speak to your soul, we invite you to stand with us. Consider a super thanks gift of $10 to help us share more prophetic truths like this with those who need it most. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I receive divine justice in the comments. Blessing code 7272 is unlocking justice in your bloodline right now. And now, beloved soul, the heavens fall silent in awe, for what needed to be said has been declared, what needed to be revealed has been unveiled, and what needed to be activated has now taken root within you. Archangel Michael steps forward one last time, his voice a holy thunder wrapped in celestial calm, and he proclaims, you are seen, you are sealed, and you are supernaturally protected. You have walked through the fire. You have endured the silence. You have obeyed in stillness. And because of your surrender, because of your resilience, because of your yes, you are now standing in a place of divine covering. The spiritual breach has been identified. The generational darkness hath been confronted. The legal document of pain hath been exchanged for a covenant of peace. Michael spreads his wings wide and says, the past no longer holds power over your purpose. The voices of yesterday have been silenced. The shadows of secrecy have lost their grip. The curse has met the cross, and the cross has declared you free. This moment is not symbolic. It is eternal. It is binding. Your silence has activated the reversal. Your surrender has invited the restoration. The courtroom has adjourned. The verdict is in. You are chosen. You are covered. You are claimed by heaven. Now rise. Not in fear, not in shame, but in divine boldness. Rise as the generational rebuilder. Rise as the breaker of cycles. Rise as the fulfillment of heaven's whispered prophecy. Archangel Michael declares, it is your time, your season, your divine unveiling. The danger has passed. The covering has intensified. The blessing is sealed. Stand now and say with your spirit, I am free. I am whole. I am heaven's answer to my family's cry. Let the angels echo your truth. Let the heavens celebrate your victory. Let the world watch as you rise in glory, cloaked in divine protection. This is your final confirmation. You are seen. You are sealed. You are supernaturally protected. Nothing behind you can bind what God has now blessed. Your time is now. Go forth and fulfill your divine assignment. Type "I am sealed" in the comments if you receive this final word. Blessing code 9999 is now resting upon your life.